Alright, so we're about to head out to get on the bus. Doesn't seem like there's many people on the bus, which is good. You know, gives some space to space out and such. This Greyhound bus has been driving in circles around South Bend for like an hour now. I'm hungry. I have about like 10 minutes to eat this meal. It could be real fucking quick. Cheers. I have like 3 more minutes to finish my fucking meal. I'm trying the best I can. I just wanted food. Ah, Broadway! Where are the Ohio voters? And why are they not out and about at 10 o'clock at night? Yoo-hoo! Swing State voters, where are you? It is 10 o'clock. Do you know where your voters are?
Yeah, this guy's really big in politics. He's actually related to Trump.
Oh, cool.
So he's your perfect candidate.
So I don't have that long. About 10 minutes. Do you mind if I interview you real quick?
I don't have 10 minutes, but go ahead.
All right, cool. So do you mind stating your name? Or if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Tell him my name. The judge. The judge.
And who are you planning on voting for?
I'm not voting for anybody, man.
Oh, why is that?
I'm a convicted felon.
Ah!
Oh, isn't Trump your cousin? That's besides the point, man.
Alright, do you guys mind if I ask you guys a couple questions?
This guy right here, listen.
I'm racist, man.
This guy lives in the highest elevation of Cuyahoga County.
Ah, cool.
Summit County.
Summit County.
Well, those are the voters I'm gonna get. Alright, back to the Greyhound.
I felt bad for the guy, so I made sure he got home. I paid for his bus ticket.
All 3 attempts at sleep have failed. Greyhound can suck a dick. Alright. It is 3 a.m. and I need breakfast. Funyuns for breakfast? It seems all my meals are eaten in such a fucking rush. I had lunch at like 3 p.m. and 12 hours later. Good. We are pulling into Union Station, DC. I'm very, very excited. No? Yeah. It's been a long night. I got maybe 2 hours of sleep. Which is something. It's not nothing, right? I'll be glad to be off of this place. Holy moly, guys. This is it. We're here. See that in the distance? We're in fucking DC. Holy shit. The man refuses to jaywalk. He's a man of the law, a man of the people. Come be in a movie. It looks like serial killer writing.
Scrawled in blood.
Yeah. I should have used red paint. Alright, Elan. How was your trip?
It was good. I managed to get a little sleep.
I did not. I'm delirious and delusional.
Coffee help? Did you get any? You didn't get any.
I got some tea.
Oh, Devin, you need some caffeine.
Green tea. Green tea has caffeine.
I believe that we have a failure right now in this country of peace. And I mean that in a broad, global term. You know, I think our leaders and representatives have failed us. They've been getting more and more bitter and partisan than ever before. That's not true. There's one place where it's worse. It was worse before, and that would be the Lincoln Memorial. It was worse then. I think that our special interests, people who are creating an organization for the benefit of an organization, is a problem. To benefit themselves and to enrich themselves are a problem, and I think they've shown indifference to other communities and other groups of people in self-interest. And I think special interests are self-interests. I believe our faith leaders have failed us horribly. I was at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial just a little bit ago taking pictures with the flag. And I think that he represents the best expression of faith this country's seen in the 20th century. Some people will argue it's Billy Graham. Some people will argue it's God knows who. But as far as a person living his faith, preaching peace, preaching justice, I believe that man did it more than anybody. I believe that our politics are hazardous right now. I believe that our special interests are hazardous right now, and I think that our faith leaders are failing us. So I bought a dozen flags. I got 1,000 signatures. I took them to places, like I said. Now I'm here with my nephew and nieces somewhere, God knows where, putting pictures of a flag on Facebook saying we got to do better. I got rules about my flag. People that can't sign it can sign it and stuff like that. I've actually told a couple people no, you can't sign it. No partisanship. No left, no right, no up, no down. Don't be picking sides on me politically. No special interest. If you want everybody to conform to whatever your special interest is, sorry, I'm not going to participate in that. I'm not going to support that. I've only got one mission. And the third thing is, if you're a person of faith, I'm a person of faith too. I ask that we respect the faith of others. And then I say, you want to sign my flag?
Sure, let's go around.
I'd love to.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Alright. We signed our names on the peace flag.
Yes,
much.
you did. You're welcome.
Thank
I
you
wish
for
you guys the
telling us
very
your story.
best.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Best, Devin, man. Congratulations.
Thank you,
How
thank
much
you.
longer? 6 months?
For graduation? Yeah, I'm graduating in the spring.
All right.
Knock on wood.
You'll make it. You'll make it. Man. I wish you guys the best.
Yeah, you have a good one. Hey, Elan. How you doing, sleepyhead?
So, I've just been informed that it's just past noon. I've been in the air
You've been in the air.
for so long. I'm in airplane mode. Wi-Fi is no go.
Wi-Fi's down.
I feel like it's at least 7 at night. Well, for the time difference, I guess I'm 3 hours behind.
Come on.
Oh, wait, no, take the camera.
Oh, okay. All right. We are headed to our first. Close the door. Oh, keys.
Or don't close the door, you mean.
Keys.
Running the UK Islington South District.
Such. All right.
Here we are into the great unknown.
Look good. All right.
What's happening?
So you
Is it
press the
recording
button,
now?
It's recording.
It's recording now.
It's
Okay.
recording.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey. So where are we?
We are at for our first protest of the day, rent strike protest, at going to Mayor Bowser's house. Yeah, so we've spoken with a couple of, I believe this is a DSA run protest, so we've spoken to a couple of the DSA members. They said that they would get back to us. They have special ambassadors for press and such, so we'll kind of get everything together for them. Do you mind saying your name, or do you want to keep yourself private?
Yeah, Olufemi Taiwo.
Alright, why are you specifically here?
I'm just here in solidarity with other renters and to put some pressure on elites, because that's the only way we're going to get anything that looks like sensible or just policy. BLM DC, for example, has had a lot to say about the mayor, and in particular in DC, there's been kind of a two-side strategy where they erected Black Lives Matter Plaza downtown on the one hand. On the other hand, there's been a pretty steadfast defense of MPD and of landlords and the kind of half-hearted support for renters. How are we going to maintain public safety that people take seriously, right? But I think when we're talking about the people in charge, when we're talking about elites, I think there's a real kind of investment in the structures we have, and or a failure to, or a fear of challenging entrenched power structures, especially when it comes to police departments. I support community control of police. Groups around here like Pan-African Community Action and groups in other places like BLM Chicago have come out in favor of some kind of community control over police departments, so not community policing, not like a friendlier police department, but real control, hiring, firing, priorities, the decision to abolish or not in the hands of the people that are policed. And I think until you get that kind of direct challenge to the power structure we have now, we're going to continue to have the kind of problems we have now. What's more likely to be corrupt, the kind of current system that we have now, which is run by the prison industrial complex, or a system where we can appeal to our neighbors instead of core civic, or instead of the Department of Justice to decide how our neighborhoods are, what public safety is going to look like in our neighborhoods. It's not so much that I don't think there's a possibility of corruption in the case of something like a CPAC. I agree there is that possibility. I just like our chances better with that than keeping total control of what public safety means in the hands of the state, which built mass incarceration to begin with.
So, do you mind saying your name?
Yeah, Abigail Higgins.
And what you said you were a journalist. What publication?
I'm freelance.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, what kind of stories do you usually cover?
A lot of different stories. I've been covering the eviction crisis in the U.S. right now, but I also write about climate change and gender issues, inequality. Local news is facing a indescribable crisis, and that's a really, really scary situation when people can't get access. It's a scary situation when people can't get access to basic information anytime, and when we're living in the middle of a global pandemic, a massive economic crisis, and people can't get basic information about what's happening around them. It's a really scary situation. I mean, unfortunately, we're already seeing a lot of, we already have a lot of information about what a world without local news looks like. It means corruption increases. It means people don't have access to basic public health information, which is a terrifying thing right now. It makes it harder for people to organize like this. It makes it harder to learn about things like tenants unions and things like strikes. A world without local news means that people who are in power are able to continue to consolidate that power and money unchecked. I don't think that there's necessarily a threat of bias in media. I think bias is a thing that humans are subjective, and I think we have to be honest about that. I think what we're seeing now is propaganda, and propaganda is an incredibly destructive force when people don't have basic information about what the goals are of people who are trying to brainwash populations, who are trying to keep populations ignorant for their own means. I think that's the thing I'm scared about more than I am about bias in media.
That a lot of people are out here unable to pay their rent. A lot of people are unable to. They don't know whether they should save their money for food. They don't know whether they should pay the rent, or they're in a bind right now. And then they're saying that this virus is going to get worse in the winter. So there's a lot of billions of dollars that the government can help these buildings and landlords.
And you don't see a clash between Blue Lives Matter and the rent
Matter
strike?
has nothing to do with It doesn't mean that if you support Blue Lives Matter, you don't support people not being able to pay their rent. It's a human thing. You know, it's not that if you support Blue Lives Matter, you're not human, or you can't, you know, you can't have sympathy for somebody else not being able to pay their rent.
Independence, united, will never be defeated.
And the guy, he came all the way from Delaware, just like our friends that just left came from New York. And
We are right in front of the White House, and there appears to be a protest going on over here, as you can probably hear. There's another crew over there. Hopefully we'll get the scoop before them.
Come on.
No KKK, no racist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no racist USA. No KKK, no racist USA.
So yeah, I think this was put up.
Yeah, this looks new.
I think this was put up for the protest.
He's kind of like the only Eddie I know that smells like kind of different. But
I'm more on the progressive side. I feel like if most wealthy countries provide health care for every man, woman, child in their country, there's no reason why the United States can't, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be, why we shouldn't be. We should be eliminating medical debt because people in this country shouldn't be dying or going broke over health care. That's the minimum. We've been saying step in the right direction for how long now? I mean, I'm sure they said that in the 60s and the 70s. I mean, even in my lifetime, I've been hearing step in the right direction. And again, I want to tell, this is for everyone, no matter how you vote, whether you're, you know, progressive, conservative, whatever. Voting is currency. Voting is one of the most precious things that you have in terms of, I mean, it's almost like, as it says, it's like it's money. So I'm not going to give my money, my currency away to people that won't give me what I want in return. I live in DC. I'm not from DC, but I've lived in DC for about 8 or 9 years now. So we have like a $500 million budget in terms of for policing, and we just increased it. So things like, so when we say things like defund the police, like yes, we have the Black Lives Matter mural. That's a beautiful thing. But that's not policy. Just because there's a Black Lives Matter mural doesn't mean that police officers can still kill, let's say kill unarmed people, even African American, white, whatever, Hispanic, kill people and not face the justice that they should face. So, and if you continue to increase funding for police, we're saying don't do that. Put the money somewhere else. Put the money into mental health facilities, mental health. People who are in mental health, maybe they can come along with police officers. Put it in education, because those things help curb crime. I don't want police officers coming in after the crime has happened. You don't want the crime to happen at all. So let's attack that issue. So that's a big reason why people are pissed out, and they should be. I want to vote for Biden, but again, it's policy.
Yeah, that's kind of my question. By the way, I'm glad to meet you. I see your name. I've been looking at your stuff on Instagram. I just got out here from LA.
Trump and Pence in the White House, they're very against women. They're very against, you know, the freedom of not only women but the people in general and the things we say. And so for that, we're here for women. We're here for women's rights. We're here for everyone's rights. LGBT, Black lives, you know, people of color, and that's basically what we're here to say.
For me, specifically, I connected with it because Mamie Barrett was literally, there's connections between her and the cult church, which the Handmaid's Tale book was based off of, which is very similar to the cult that Amy was in. And she carried a role called a handmaid that was basically in charge of managing the girls, and like it was kind of a condescending, patriarchal, oppressive, like her being in the position of oppressing the girls in the church. Anyways, so they've tried to cover up that, and then also it's a symbol for women's rights being taken away and the future of women being just for incubators and just being used to make this country bigger. Nationalism is a big problem, and yeah.
So with her nomination, what does that mean to you? What does her nomination mean to you?
Well, it doesn't mean the end, but it means it's going to be a lot harder for us to be able to combat these escalations and the rollback of all the progress that we've made so far in terms of women's rights, LGBTQ rights, rights for immigrants, healthcare, and they're trying to take it away, and that's the main issue.
Well, the protest. I'm from Oregon. That's over on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And I came here because, yeah, I either want to celebrate the election or I want to lead the revolution. And yeah.
We went trick or treating.
We spent too much.
Money
today.
We spent close to $50.
Yeah.
On what did we get for that, Devin? How much did we get for that?
You got a single fucking burger.
It was messy too.
These like fully fried onions, like not even like onion rings. Like they took an onion, it's like a bloomin' onion or something, and they fried it.
We got some fries and we got some oat milk ice cream, which that was a mistake on both of our parts. But you have to get over a certain threshold. So as we were on our way back, we're very hungry. I have a headache because I haven't had any coffee in over 24 hours. And for anyone who knows me, that's horrible. That is hellish.
And for anybody who doesn't, that's horrible.
You're going to find out.
That's hellish.
So this is our dinner. We were wondering how trick-or-treating was going to work this year. So basically just some houses had these little bags, tied, which I thought was considerate. And I'm actually wearing a costume today.
I'm wearing a costume.
No, not that anyone has noticed. Devin noticed. The viewers will notice. Hopefully my followers will notice. I really hope that one person noticed, at least. So this is our dinner, because this is all we can afford.
Happy birthday.